What's up, you guys? It's your girl MoneyTube, and I'm back at it again with another video today. And what I'm going to be doing is reading Twitter threads. So let's get into it. This one is called Psychic Ability, a Riddle Test. I live in a very busy city in Osaka, Japan, and I often use the subway to go to work. One day, when I was waiting for the train, I noticed a homeless old man holding up a cup and begging for some coins. He was muttering to himself as people passed by. A fat woman passed by, and I distinctly heard the beggar say, "Pig." That's kind of rude, but okay. Huh? How would people give him money if he just assaulted them like that? Then a tall businessman went by, and he muttered, "Human." Well, obviously he was a human. I was so curious and wanted to find out more. The next day, I arrived early at the station and had plenty of time before my shift began, so I decided to spend the few minutes to stand by the old woman and listen to her muttering, "Is this a man or a woman?" The next day, I arrived early at the station and had plenty of time before my shift began, so I decided to spend a few minutes to stand by the old woman and listen to her mutterings. With me standing almost beside her, I got a good look at her face, and it surprised me that she wasn't that old. Her scruffy clothes and the way she hunched her back made her look older. My trail of thoughts came to a halt as a thin old man passed by in front of her. She muttered, "Cow." Cow? That man was too little to be a cow. He seemed more like a chicken. A fat man walked by, and I figured the woman would say, "Pig." Potato. Potato? I thought he called all fat people pig. The whole day, even as I arrived at work, I couldn't stop thinking about the old woman's mutterings. There must have been some pattern to all the things she was saying. Maybe a psychic ability of some sort? What if she knew what the people were in their previous lives? Ooh, that's a good one. That could be, since many people in Japan believed in reincarnation. I observed her more to see if my theory was correct. After hearing her mutter a variety of things and animals, I let my curiosity get the better of me and approached her. "Bread," she said. I tossed some of my spare change into her cup and asked her if she had some sort of psychic ability. She smiled up at me. "My name is Yura Otonashi." Otonashi? I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but she smiled up at me. "My name is Yura Otonashi, and I was famous for my ability way back in high school. But it's not what you would normally expect, as I can neither predict the future nor read minds." "So what's your ability?" I asked her. "I can tell the last thing somebody ate." I laughed. She was right. The last thing I ate for breakfast was toast. I walked away from her still laughing. Of all the psychic abilities, that must be the one most useless. Did you notice the horror behind the story? Let me go back. Wait. Somebody walked by and she said human. And if she can tell what you ate the previous day, that person ate a human. That story was dark.
Darkness.
Huh?
Darkness.
Darkness. What's that mean? What?
Darkness, sir.
Okay.
This thread is called Wedding Album, a scary story. There was a young couple who had just gotten married. The wedding was wonderful, and they took many photos so that they could remember the happy occasion forever. For their honeymoon, they traveled to France and stayed in a dark old mansion. I feel like that's clue number one. I would not stay in a dark old mansion, especially if I don't know the history of the mansion and you're the only ones there. I feel like something is bound to happen. The first night, the young woman felt scared, and despite her husband's attempt to reassure her, she could not sleep. I feel like that's another thing. That's another clue. To clear her head, she decided to go downstairs to the library and read a little. I feel like y'all should have just, stick together. Stick together. She selected a book at random from the dusty old shelves and opened it. Inside, there were only pictures. Pictures of her. Get out. Just get out. Get out while you can. Get out. The pictures were from her wedding. The woman was shocked at first, but then she thought about it. Her husband must have put together a wedding album as a surprise for her. He was probably planning to give it to her the next day. That depends, though, on if he's been there before she has. Because, mind you, if they had just gotten married, I don't think there would already be a wedding book, right? She flipped through the pictures in that album, her mind going back to how wonderful the wedding day had been. When she reached the end of the album, there were more pages with pictures, but they were not of the wedding. And in fact, she wondered what these strange pictures were doing in the album. It seemed as if they had been stapled in. The first page showed a picture of a woman standing in a library holding a book in her hands. On the second page, there was another picture of the woman, but this time the library door was open. Feeling a little uneasy, she turned to look at the door. Girl, get out. Just go. Just get out. Don't flip the page no more. Don't flip the page. Just run. It was closed. Okay, so she opened. So she looked. The door was closed. Okay. Go. I would think that was suspicious. I would look at the picture and look around because, especially if it's in a library and you yourself is in a library, you should take that as a hint. You need to go. It was closed. On the third page of the book, the door was wide open and a faceless man was standing behind the woman. Again, she glanced over her shoulder, but the door was closed. Do you not know? Like, come on. See, if this was turned into a movie and was, I would be yelling in the movie theater, like, run, run. Okay. Flipping to the last page of the book, she saw that in a picture, the faceless man was standing behind the woman, his arm raised and clutching a knife. Told you. The next morning, the husband woke up and could not find his wife. He decided to search the house, but when he got to the library, he found the door wouldn't open. It was stuck. Putting all of his weight behind it, he pushed against the door with his shoulder and eventually it burst open. Behind the door, he found his wife lying in a pool of blood. There was a knife sticking out of her back. I mean, we saw that coming, but what happened to him? Did he die too? What's going on? Did he call the police? I would like to know more. So that was me reading different Twitter threads. So I hope you guys liked the video, comment, and subscribe. So.